Hello and welcome to the Wellness Rock Show with your host, Stephanie Deal. This is a sacred space where we dive deep into 5 pillars: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial to create optimal wealth in your life. In each episode, I will be your faith-filled friend guiding you on a transformative journey towards a godly and vibrant life. Whether you're seeking peace within spiritual leadership, inspiration for your wellness journey, or practical strategies for a successful lifestyle, Stephanie and the Wellness Rock are here to nurture every facet of your existence. Join us as we embark on a sacred quest to align the body, mind, and spirit in harmony with God's design. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wellness Rock Show. I'm so excited for you guys all to be here with me this week. And this week is very exciting because we have a very special guest with us today. Her name is Lucie, and she is a national speaker and peak performance coach who speaks 4 languages and teaches people how to transform their identity and take massive action towards their goals. She grew up in Metro Detroit, always dreaming to one day own her own horse. After taking a leap of faith and quitting corporate America, she currently runs one of Michigan's largest public trail riding companies, sells horses all over the country, and empowers audiences to take back control over their lives. So I'm so excited to have her here today. I'm so excited to have her share her story and really just what she's accomplished within the past amount of years in her life, and to just really share that with us. So I will have her introduce herself. So go ahead.
Hi guys, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Stephanie, for taking the time. Yeah, so I grew up in Michigan, and I was just a little girl with a big dream. Ever since I can remember, I was just passionate and obsessed with horses my entire life. And if you read books like Think and Grow Rich, it's funny because those books and those authors will tell you that if you want to accomplish anything in life, all you need is a burning desire.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is get obsessed with that desire.
Yes.
And that's something that was just within me since I can remember. I would pray at night as a child, and I would say, Dear God, please let me just dream that I'm riding a horse, so that way, because I would beg my dad as a child, please buy me a horse, and he would never buy me a horse.
Right.
So therefore, I would pray at night, and I would say, Dear God, please let me dream at night that I'm riding a horse, so that way it's actually like I'm doing it in real life.
Wow.
And then fast forward a couple years, I ended up putting a Craigslist the day I turned 16 was the day that I got my driver's license, was the day that I created my Craigslist ad and said, I will ride your horse for free.
Oh my gosh.
It's one of those things, right? Like when you're so passionate about something that you just do it because you love it, that you'll do it for free, that you'll go out of your way. It just all sort of worked out in a way that I put this ad online saying, I'll ride your horse for free. And then I had these yahoos calling me with their green broke horses that hadn't been touched in 5 or 10 years. Wow. And they're like, hey, sweetheart, you want to come ride a horse? I'm out in, an hour away. And sure enough, I had my license, so I was free to go, baby. and I was driving out to ride these people's horses, and I was breaking them out, and I was training them. And
wow.
Next thing you know, the horses were showing massive improvement. And then I ended up meeting a horse dealer who would get 50 horses in a week. I'd ride everything that he got in, and I was on a mission to save all the horses of the world, because if I couldn't ride it, train it, sell it fast enough, it was getting shipped to Canada, and I was like, we can't let that happen. So that was kind of how I got kicked off in the horse industry, with having that desire to ride, that desire to train, and eventually starting to sell horses locally. And now I'm blessed that I'm able to sell horses all over the country, and now we're selling horses to Canada and Mexico too.
Wow.
So, it's been an exciting journey.
That's so amazing. Wow. Like, I love your story because you've had this passion inside of you since you were a little girl, and like, even though you may not have known in the moment that you were manifesting that, or like that is the action that you were doing, that you were still doing that. And I think that's so incredible for you to be able to like look back at that and be like, wow, I really created this. Like I manifested this. I worked towards this. It's amazing.
Yeah, it all started actually. It's funny because I've been living the law of attraction my entire life without even knowing that I was living the law of attraction.
Right.
And so it wasn't until I think I was 18 when I saw the movie The Secret, which was like the blockbuster hit. And then when everybody learned, like, wow, and for me, that was one of like the most exciting and empowering movies to watch, because I'm like, wow, I can do, have anything that I can dream up. All I have to do is use my imagination. And then that's when I started diving deep into self-development and reading all of these books and figuring out like how can I dive deeper, and how can I create everything that I want in life? How can I have perfect health, unlimited energy? How can I just this like relentless pursuit of like unconditional positivity and joy, whatever outside circumstances life throws at you, to just kind of like keep that center and stay focused on the good. It's almost like you're having to like really learn to condition yourself to see the good in all things and all people and all places, which in my experience, I mean, even as self-developed as someone like me or my friends are, like we still struggle on a daily basis, because it's a practice.
Right.
And the more you practice things like gratitude and self-awareness, the better and more sharpened your skill is going to get with that. So I encourage a lot of people, a lot of my clients are people who are feeling stuck, or they're procrastinating, or they're just feeling unfulfilled in life, and they're here and they're not sure why they got there, but they want to experience this. They want the dream job. They want the perfect relationship. They want to feel good in their bodies. They want to feel good in their clothes. They want to look in the mirror with confidence.
Right.
And it's all about the essentially awareness and
absolutely
and figuring out and understanding the fact that we are where we are today based on every decision that we've made up until this point.
Yeah.
So if we want a different life, if we want different experiences, if we want to live feeling excited and passionate and full of purpose and alive, like we're going to have to essentially become a different person, or think different thoughts, do different things, embody different habits. And that's what I help people do. I help people figure out, like, get really honest with where they're at, and then get clarity on where they want to go.
Right.
Because so many people, you ask people, what do you want in life? Like what do you want?
Right.
And the first thing that they do is they start listing off, like it's a whole list of everything that they don't want. They're like, well, I don't want to fight with my husband. I don't want to deal with a kid. And so instead of everything that they do want, they're focused on everything that they don't want.
Right, which is attracting that even more.
Exactly. And I feel like that's kind of like what media or news, like it's low vibrational. It kind of teaches people to just focus on everything that they don't want, or everything that could go wrong.
Right.
And as you know, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So many of us are conditioned to focus on things that we don't want. It's like we have to go through a full reprogramming of our subconscious mind. And that way we're used to practicing gratitude. We're used to looking for the good in all things. We're used to feeling happy. Like we get caught in patterns. We have these stories that we live in, these stories that define who we are, where we came from, what our past looks like. And we're defining ourselves by our past. And we don't have to do that.
Right.
We're one decision away from a totally different life at any given time.
Yeah. No, that's so good. And I just love your mindset, because I feel like this is everything that I've like ever spoken before. And I'm just like, yes, girl, preach. But it's so good. And have you always had this mindset, or did you have to learn this for yourself and then you were able to teach it to other people?
So I think I feel like I have to say that my parents were really awesome, and I'm very, very grateful
That's
for
awesome.
everything that, I mean, like, it wasn't like a perfect childhood, but like looking back, there were so many beautiful memories that I can really appreciate, and everything that they taught me. And I feel like I was always a very positive, happy person. And are you familiar with Abraham Hicks?
Yes.
So I remember the first time. I'm like so excited to tell you everything. I've always been positive, or like, where did I learn this from? So I would say that I had a really awesome childhood growing up. I was very blessed to have the parents that I had, and I would always say that I was a very positive person for the most part. But through listening to Dr. Wayne Dyer and Abraham Hicks and attending their workshops, I have so many different tools in my toolbox, which is what I love to teach people, which are different rituals or different habits or different, like, you can call them tips and tricks, but essentially they're fundamental things that will essentially rewire your subconscious mind, that will lift your energy, that will like fill your soul, elevate your vibration, and make you feel good. Even especially when you notice that you're not feeling good and that you're kind of in a low energy state and you're just kind of feeling like, ugh, and not knowing like how to get out of that funk.
Right.
It's really important to have a whole toolbox of different strategies, of different tools, of different rituals at your disposal at any given time. So whether that's phone a friend, whether that's having a playlist and putting on like some fun music, I talk a lot about divine feminine energy and masculine energy, and how for feminine energy, that can really be triggered by dancing and flowing and moving your body.
I love that.
And stop worrying and stop being so uptight and not worrying about what anybody says or what they think, and just essentially just being free and letting that energy flow.
Yeah.
So one of the things that attending the Abraham Hicks workshop when I was 22 years old, I learned was my big takeaway was starting my meditation practice.
Mm-hmm.
I had never meditated previously, and I had always heard about people meditating, and I actually specifically remember reading the first Dr. Wayne Dyer book, and one of the chapters was about silence and how God speaks in the silence.
Right.
And I was 20 years old, and I really didn't quite understand that. And once I attended the Abraham Hicks workshop, and they had said, "Oh, we love you dear human being so much. If there's one thing that we would recommend you do that would change the trajectory of your life, it would absolutely be to begin meditating."
Wow.
So meditation has, I would say, catapulted me from operating where I was to being able to operate at a whole nother vibrational playing field.
Wow.
The cool thing is I teach people how to do this. That way you can instantly change your state. You can instantly feel better no matter what's going on around you, no matter if you're having problems in your marriage or with your children or in your community with your friends. There's these little tips and tricks, and meditation is definitely one of those that is like guaranteed to elevate anybody who chooses to use it.
I love that. That's so good. I love hearing you talk about meditation, because I truly don't, like, that is one thing that I've meditated a couple times, but I've it's so hard to meditate. So kind of share with us how your journey looked like when you first started meditating and how you grew your meditation practice, because I feel like a lot of people don't meditate because they don't know how to meditate, or they meditate and it doesn't work. So they just give up. So take us through what that looks like for you.
Okay, yes, I'm actually so glad you asked